this is easily the worst part of the game. Well, not yet, but there's this one puzzle in this area worse than the bubble of Aqua Lake Zone. Right now it's not so bad though. Basically, you've got this gimmick where you have a torch, and all you have to do is walk or jump past the torches and the light. So it's not really a big deal. And there's no cheap enemy placement or anything. There's barely any enemies there, so it's not like it's a huge inconvenience that you can't see what's ahead of you any more than you already can't. And like you're already out of the dark. It's really not that big of a deal. These fuses, the explosions can actually hurt you, which is really stupid since you need to make them explode to progress. And I also don't like how you have to home attack and jump into stuff to break them in order to reveal springs. Like, it just feels like padding to me. Like, why can't they just be there, able to be used from the very beginning? These fuses, another thing about them is that sometimes you can only like a certain part of them, but multiple different parts of them are sticking out of the wall. A lot of people complain about the minecart because when you're set down to the minecart in ball form like this, keep holding right, because otherwise you're gonna fall to your death, or just fall into a lower route or something. But it's not really that big of a deal if you go into it knowing how the game's physics work. Like, right from the start, it's pretty obvious that it's based on the Rush engine. So, you know, just hold right and you'll be fine. It's like a reverse situation of the launcher chair in Wing Fortress Zone that flung you to your death if you didn't know that you were allowed to hold right while it was flinging you. Like, I don't see people complaining about that in Sonic 2. It's basically a reverse situation here. Only, this entire game has led you to believe that it doesn't have much momentum. So it should be obvious what to do in that minecart section. Whereas in Sonic 2, how are you supposed to know that there isn't a speed cap on the ground, but there is in the air? But yeah, like the minecart section is fine. Like, you press A and you jump over stuff to avoid falling to lower routes and stuff. It's not like you absolutely need to jump at any point. Like, it's not like the minecart island of Sonic Rush Adventure. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. The level isn't really too bad right now. Pretty platformy. Like, there isn't that much. But here we go. This is the worst part of the game. There's so many things wrong with this. Now, I don't even know where to begin. I hate that vertical pillar to the right of me that constantly blocks my way. What you need to do is you need to light the rightmost torch, and then wait a couple seconds before lighting the one to the left of it. Light the last torch, and then wait a couple seconds before lighting the third torch. Because otherwise you'll have that stupid pillar blocking your way. And it takes a couple seconds in order to get over to this platform that you need to be on so you can jump over to the horizontal pillar. It's not all intuitive which torches create which pillars, because it's not like the torch handles are color coded to match the pillars. It's not like every pillar has their own color. So it's pure memorization. And I also really hate this one. Like the vertical one that completely blocks your way back. Sometimes it goes dark again, and it's kind of pointless. It doesn't really do anything. And sometimes there's a vertical pillar to the right of that one. Like there, like I just showed it off, and I have no idea what causes that to appear. It's entirely based on memorization, and even then, it really doesn't feel like something you can overcome with strategy. You'll just make the same mistakes over and over again. You think that it's just light the torches in order and you'll be fine, but no, it's a timing puzzle. I don't know why they thought this was okay in a Sonic game. At least, like, I literally had to look up a guide to find out what exactly I was supposed to do. And even then, I still screwed up a bunch. Yeah, like 3 seconds later, then you light it. And I was so shocked that I actually managed to get through it. And like I only timed over it once, but still I have 5 minutes on the timer. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea in any game. And of course, even though of course they have to keep Sonic on screen at all times. So even though you look down to scroll down the screen, it doesn't really work. You still can't see what's below you. So you have to make a blind jump in order to progress. Yeah, like, the rest of this level isn't outright horrible. Like, I have no idea why people complain so much about the minecart, and yet nobody really complains about the torch puzzle as much. And again, why can't you jump high enough to easily... The weird thing is, there's the targeting reticule to the left of me, and that encouraged me to air dash there. I don't know why that appeared. Right there. Like, it makes you think that you can break the wall, and that's how you're supposed to progress. I don't know why targeting reticules can appear in front of walls. Like, that's another thing about the homing attack, is that it can basically target anything. Like, it can target springs, which is very convenient. It can target enemies. It can target gimmicks like hangers and vine swingings, which is really convenient. And I really had a problem with it targeting stuff I didn't want to. It always targets what I want to. If anything, I had a problem with it doing the air dash when I didn't want to because I was too high up. But yeah, I hate these things. I have since Labyrinth Zone. Like, I hate how they just constantly spring up from the ground and you have no way of knowing they're going to be there. And again, why couldn't I just light the fuse right next to the explosion thing? It's so arbitrary where you're supposed to... And how was I supposed to avoid that? It's like you have to time your jump so that you don't... Like, I don't know. I don't really like this level that much. And again, you should probably hold right there or you'll fall into a bottomless pit. But if you come into the game knowing what to expect, and even then, I don't really think that the controls are that hard to adjust to. Like, it didn't even take me one act to adjust to the fact that that was how the game played. And even going from this back to a normal Sonic game like Advance 3 wasn't really that big of a deal. And you know, I used to think that this game made it easier to go into the special ring without being cheated out of it like in Sonic 1, but no! You could still get cheated out of it because you didn't jump at the right time, or you were off screen for too long. Why did they make that a possibility? The mobile version doesn't let you do that. Why are you even able to go off screen at all? Why can't you just have special stage springs, like in Advance 1, except it's completely impossible to miss them? If you go left from here, you'll find an intangible wall that leads to a huge amount of rings. I wish I knew that. Because like every Sonic level has parts of it that you can't skip at all. Like there's alternate routes, but there's also parts of it that you usually can't skip. Like there should be special stage springs there, instead of forcing you to go to the entire level without losing all of your rings, which can be cheap in some areas. You actually jump higher underwater in this game, like in Mega Man X. I don't feel like you're nearly as sluggish underwater as you are in other 2D Sonic games, like Sonic 2 for the Master System, or the classic Sonic games. I don't feel like being underwater is that big of a deal, especially since there's dash pads. And you know, I don't understand why people complain so much about the dash pads, especially in this game, where you're not really all that fast on your own. So you kinda need them. You need to tilt left and right in these things in order to progress with this. Because that way it moves to the block to the right of you. It's not really that bad now, but it's gonna get a lot worse. And this is basically a sand slide area from Sandapple Zone. It vertically wraps infinitely, so you got to jump at the right times so that you press the switches so you can progress. This game is available in all of Apple's touchscreen devices, except for the new iPod Nano. Considering the reception of this game, I don't think it'll ever be available on that anytime soon. In the mobile version of the game, you only see this spinning feet animation at max speed, so you barely ever get to see it. And they changed that because people complained. Another fun fact, in spite of the fact that Mecha Sonic is not in Sonic 4, he's mentioned in Eggman's profile on the Japanese Episode 1 website. And this is a really tense section, so it's a good thing that you can stand on slopes there, because I probably would have gotten crushed otherwise. It's not really that big of a deal though. In time attack mode, none of the game's checkpoints are present, and all the 1-up monitors change into Super Ring monitors. Same thing happens in episode 2. I really like how the invincibility looks just like the one in Sonic Adventure 2 that really looked good. Although it doesn't have the same awesome theme to it as Adventure 2. Like, I feel like that theme perfectly suited it. The PS3 version of the game is compatible with the PS4's DualShock 4 controller, but it's gotta be connected with a micro USB cable because it can't be connected wirelessly using Bluetooth. When you breathe in a bubble, it's pretty annoying how there's such a delay between you breathing in a bubble and being able to move again. Like, it's really glaring right from the start. You can actually homing attack those things, but it's pointless because you don't press the switches when you homing attack them. And here we go. This is bullshit. Even if you start holding the opposite direction, you're still going to end up falling into the spikes anyways. It's like now the game decides to have momentum? Really? Why are there spikes here? I don't know why they thought this was a good idea. Like, I started holding left there, but he was still falling to the right. Up to this point, the game has trained me to realize that if you go right, you hold right. And if you hold left, you go left. But here, they decided to just abandon that just for the sake of making it cheap. So you have to be careful and start holding left when Sonic's in the center. Because suddenly now he has momentum when it's going to screw you over. When you're in a section like that, on the Android version of the game, it's basically motion controlled. And it's really not that fun. And like same goes for the cannons of Casino Street Act 2, of Act 3, I mean. They're motion controlled in the Android remake. Like you gotta tilt the tablet. I don't really know why anyone would play the Android version of this, unless like they really like this game. But even then, like I don't see the point. Like motion controls aren't really that fun, especially not gyro controls. And again, this is another vertically wrapping area, so you gotta press all the switches in order to progress. Sonic 4 Episode 1 was intended to be released in July of 2010, but it got delayed for quality reasons after test versions of it for the major consoles got slowly leaked, and fans reacted negatively to certain gameplay aspects and level gimmicks. They didn't have time to fix the physics like everyone wanted, so they had to make some minor changes, and that was it. The release date was changed to October because of that. The iOS version is the original version of the game, keeping some major elements, and further mobile ports for some reason are made closer to that version. Casino Street Act 2 was originally a boring area where you had to get 100,000 points to reach the goal, and you were encouraged to use the slot machine. Like encouraged, which was weird because I always thought that was your only option. It also had different music that only lasted for 10 seconds before looping and drove you insane. I don't understand why they thought that was a good idea in a 2D Sonic game, so it's a good thing that they changed it for every other release.